Hey everybody, welcome back. This video is in a response to a new subscriber of mine just 2 days ago from France. And his name, I believe, is Sakab or Sakab. Probably not pronouncing that right. Do correct me if I'm not. It's from France. So hello from the USA. You're actually the second subscriber I have out of the overseas, out of the country. There's actually another subscriber, Flabby Abby, I have from Wales, so that's pretty cool. Nice to have friends, associates from other countries and learn more about other countries. I mean, I barely understand the way things work in the USA most of the time, so I'll be damned if I know about the economy or the process, how things go in other countries. You just hear things from time to time. Now, Sakab or Sakab wanted to know, he commented on one of my other videos, and he wanted to know how things worked. He said he was kind of shocked, and a lot of people in France are kind of shocked about how, and I do agree with him, I do agree with it, that it's kind of like organized, healthcare especially, to keep, instead of getting to the cure, the root of the problem, to keep people alive. It's almost like to keep the condition going on, just so that, the healthcare system can make more money. I definitely agree with that. I see it so much. And yeah, it almost seems like, in a way, like, don't know for sure, but America is definitely, if I were to use like one, I mean, I do think America is a great country despite the faults, the things that we do have that aren't so great. But I love America. It is a great place. We definitely have a ways to go. But as far as, I separate America from government. I just look at it two separate ways. I hate the U.S. government. I absolutely hate them. I think that they're a bunch of scam artists. I think they're greedy. I do believe that a lot of them, I think it's they're involved in organized crime, like you'd mentioned, smuggling, but it's been proven that, especially during the 1970s, 1980s, it was proven that the U.S. government was smuggling drugs in, especially cocaine from Colombia. But yet, that seems to be, I mean, in this country, it's so screwed up. Like, we give more time to drug dealers than we give to murders. I mean, you could get locked away for the rest of your life for, you're not even hurting anybody, you're not killing anybody for the most part. Most drug dealers, they're just trying to make, get around not having to, they're trying to get out of paying taxes, and they're trying to make an easy living just by selling drugs instead of working a regular job. Now, I definitely think that is a crime, but I don't think it's a crime that should be punishable for 20, 30, 40 years, maybe 5 years, 10 years the most. I think 5 years is, maybe if you have repeated offenses, then maybe, you can give these people more time, but that's costing, and Bill Clinton was very famous. He was one that's him and Joe Biden. It was Joe Biden's idea back in '94, former vice president, and now he's running to be he's running to be president now. And it was his when he was governor. I forget, some state in the East Coast, was it Vermont? I don't recall, but it was his idea, and Bill Clinton put that into place. And it's just, for all these people we have locked up, it's just more, tax dollars that are being taken out of the pockets of hardworking Americans, and I don't like it, and neither do most people. So anyways, I'm going to dive right in here. So here we go. I got a list of about 10, 11 things that this topic that you had brought up. So let's just jump right in here with both feet. So, and I wasn't very a fan of Barack Obama, our former president, but when he was running, he did make, because he came up with Obamacare, which is a different kind of health care than we ever had before. And even though I'm not a big fan of him, I do agree with him. When he was running, he said that, we definitely need to work on our health care. He said, we pay more money than other countries. That healthcare is much less, and the outcomes aren't any better. Said that doesn't really make sense, and yeah, it definitely doesn't. And it's really, and it's expensive. It's no wonder that people go. I think a lot of people would like to have it, but it's so expensive. Some people can't afford to have it. And I don't really like Obamacare because it's called the Affordable Care Act, which it's not affordable. It's really a high premium, high deductible, high copays, high prescription costs. And I don't like the fact, I think it should be a choice. I don't think people should be forced to get insurance. It should be a choice, and if you don't have, you have to either get your own insurance, through your company or private, get insurance on your own through a company for your workplace, or you get Obamacare. Those are your three choices, and then if you go without it, then you have to pay a fine when you file taxes. And I just don't think, it's not that much, but still, I don't think that that's a good thing. And I just don't think that people should be punished or penalized for not having insurance. Some people are really healthy. They don't, feel like they need insurance. And if it was more affordable, I think everybody would have it. So there's that. And then like psychiatry is a big thing. It's like, it used to be that psych meds were like a last resort, and now it's like that's what all psychiatrists jump to now. It's like the drug companies. So I know some psychiatrists, they actually get more money. They get like kickbacks from these drug companies for however many meds, for a certain amount of meds, like sort of like meeting a quota, like commission based, like a car dealer. The more cars they sell, they get a base salary plus commission, but it's like there's an incentive to sell more cars. It's like, a lot of salespeople in this country, it's more their money is based on commission. It's like, the more you sell, the more commission you get, the more money is in your pocket. And it seems like that's the way psychiatry works. It used to be they did therapy. They tried to get to the root of the problem. And then, by therapy, if they couldn't get to the root of the problem, then prescribing psych medications was like a last resort. But now, if you go to see a psychiatrist, you talk to them for maybe half an hour at the most, sometimes even shorter than that. Sometimes it might be like 5 or 10 minutes. It's like, I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling anxious. I got anger management. It's like, okay, let's see. We'll put you on this med. And we'll see. You should be able to live a better life. And, there are certain things that you can get there's foods you can eat. There's over-the-counter medications like St. John's wort, milk thistle, like things that could, vitamins D that could help your mood improve. And I think I asked somebody once, I said, well, if this stuff really does work, why wouldn't psychiatrists recommend it? Why wouldn't they approve of it? And some said, the psychiatrists, they don't want you to know about that because if you did know about that, then, these drug companies wouldn't make as much money, and, psychiatrists wouldn't get as much kickback from the drug companies. And, cancer is, so that's, psychiatric care, that's a big thing. Cancer is another big thing. We have, I think the government knows how to cure all this stuff, but they don't want to spend the money on it. It almost seems like they want to, make more money off of, broke citizens. So cancer is a big thing, even with insurance. It's like, I forget what it was. I had a friend, he still ended up dying of cancer, bone cancer. Originally he had it in his back and he was going through chemotherapy, radiation, got rid of it and it came back again. It was being more aggressive. And then I think it spread his leg. He had to have his leg amputated. I forget what it was, but even with insurance, was he getting chemotherapy maybe a couple times a week, like each chemotherapy session? I forget what it was, but it was even with insurance, it was an outrageous amount of money. It's like you pay so much for health insurance, and yet you still got to pay so much out of pocket. You got a deductible you have to meet every year, and it's not just, if you got a family plan, it's not just, the deductible for the family. Every person, I got a wife and a daughter, so like, I thought like, we just have to meet $1,000 as, the three of us together, but no, myself, my wife, my daughter, we each have to pay $1,000 out of pocket before we can get, 80% coverage on the rest of our medical care throughout the year. And it's separate from psych care too. I thought it was combined with psych care, but psych care, that's totally separate. It is just such a scam. such a scam. And yeah, like the friend of mine that died of cancer, even with insurance, his chemotherapy, he was getting it like twice a week, I think, and I forget what it was, but each session was an outrageous amount of money out of pocket. HIV is another big one. At least now we got good HIV drugs that keep people from. You don't really hear about people dying from full-blown AIDS anymore. Most people are, staying HIV positive, because HIV is what can lead to full-blown AIDS. Before we had these, good HIV drugs, it was like you're basically screwed. You were just, destined. You were just a goner, destined to die eventually. When, who knew? Some people had really severe cases. Some people had really mild cases. HIV or AIDS was actually discovered in 1981. It wasn't until 1984 that HIV was discovered, the virus that causes AIDS.